Welcome to Creatively Using the Creative Suite. Here's your host, Erik Bernskiold. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Creatively Using the Creative Suite podcast. My name is Erik Bernskiold, and today I'm inside of Illustrator, and I'm going to show you an effect that you can do with the brand new stroke width tool. Actually, it's not that brand new, but it's been around since CS5, so it's still a very new tool. It's a great tool, and basically what it lets you do is it lets you take a stroke that you do with, say, the pencil tool, and it lets you vary that on the different lengths and different places in the stroke. So I'm going to show you. Let's just show you once basically what this tool does. Okay, so I'm going to grab the pencil tool or N on the keyboard, and I'm just going to drag a wavy line across here. Now, this is a fairly thick stroke. It's a bright red 95-point stroke, okay? But let's say I like this stroke to be not as wide right here in the middle. That would have taken some effort before, but with the stroke width tool, this is really simple. All you do is you activate it in the sidebar, and you get a point here, so you can follow the cursor along the entire bit of the path. And let's say you're in the middle, right here, I want it to change to be smaller. So I just click, and then I drag outwards. So you can see how it changes to be thicker, and then how it's going to be smaller here. So if I go and make it really small, like that, I can have it go up again to be really thick, and then down if I like to. Or I can, let's say, leave that, and at the end, just go ahead to go to the anchor point, and then at the anchor point, I can just pull that out, again using the stroke width tool. So I can easily change how this is going to look. So let's say I do something like this, and let's do it smaller right there. Let's do it thicker again in the middle. I mean, here we have some sort of stroke, right? That's a basic thing. But what you can do here is you can use this as part of an effect. So I've just created a simple background as a radial gradient going from a darker gray to white in the middle. So just a clean, simple background. What I want you to do is utilize the stroke width tool in order to create a sort of wavy line effect, which is really popular. So I'm going to go ahead and first of all look up here in the options panel, and I'm going to make sure the variable stroke setting here is set to uniform. There are a few presets, and your lastly modified is automatically saved up here, but I'm going to click on uniform. I'm going to set the stroke width to about 10 points, and then I'm just going to do sort of a little wavy line right here, and then let's do a new line by just doing a little bit more waviness, and let's do a final one, which I'm going to do something like that on. Okay, so let's just position these. They're a little bit more together, something like that, and let's just change the color of a couple of them. So this one, the big wavy one, I'm going to set to be not a red, but let's set this to be a blue, navy bluish color like this. Actually, let's do a little deeper color. There we go. And let's do the semi-wavy one. Let's get that into, let's see how a brown goldish color looks. I think that might be too little in terms of color. Yes. So let's do a green. Something like that I think will look good. And now comes the fun with the stroke width tool. So I'm going to go ahead and for this short line, I'm just going to do an opening which is thick. And I'm going to help it along the way here in order to reduce it a little bit faster. So something like that. I think that looks well. And the big one here, let's again stroke width tool. Let's make it thick here up the top, and let's make it smaller down in the middle where it turns. Let's make it thick somewhere here, and then so that it goes down again. I think that'll be great. Let's position this a bit over. Let's turn it. I'm basically trying to hide the origin of the red one here. And then finally, the green line. What shall we do with this one? Okay, so we've done 2 effects of this. So let's make this be a little thicker in the other end. And let's make it go from thick to even thicker. How about that? Something like that. Not as much change in this one. Let's make it a little thinner up here. Let's make sure you target the right one. So let's change the anchor here. Let's add a little new one. Let's make sure we are on the green one. And want to make sure I'm targeting that. All right, so let's make that, oops. Let's target the anchor that we already have in place here. I'm gonna move the blue out of the way for a while. All right, so targeting green. And let's grab this anchor right here. And let's just reduce that slightly. Okay, so that it still goes wide, but it goes wide at the end. All right, so I think with this that I'm pretty happy. Let's position the blue back in place. And what we get here, especially if we were to view it in just the artboard view, is the beginning of a nice wavy line effect. Now you want to play around with the colors, you want to play around with the background, blending options, and getting these together in a nice way. But it's a great start being able to create the different width effects of these lines and not just having to do it in more advanced ways. So really simple, really cool wave line using the new stroke width tool in Illustrator CS5. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Creatively Using the Creative Suite podcast. My name is Erik Bernskiold, and bye-bye for now.